The Niagara Parks Power Station opened to the public about a month ago, and we're here tonight to see their newest feature, Currents.
So over the last 13 months, we've been under construction. We opened the daytime experience on July 30th, and on September 3rd, we're doing the world premiere of an evening immersive sound and light show called Currents, Niagara's Power Transformed. Through a request for proposals process, we engaged the ThinkWell group from Montreal, who worked with us on the creative side to develop this sound and light show. So a use of music, which is actually a soundtrack that was created for this show, laser lights, projection mapping, storytelling, and reactive technology to engage the audience as well. So it really brings the power station, the generator hall floor, to life at night.
Emily, we just saw quite a show here. I don't even know if you can begin to tell us, how did you do it?
Well, it was a labor of love. We were invited by the Niagara Parks Commission to design an immersive show for this cathedral-like space. So we began by exploring the space, understanding its history, understanding its relationship to water, to electricity, and set out to write this poetic journey through water, electricity, and their meeting point, human ingenuity, which is what allowed for this space to even exist to begin with. It's not a show that's absolutely based in historical timeline, but it does walk you through the journey of power. It was really a gift to work on this project, to work with Canadians, and to really highlight this such a specific nature of not only the city, but this site in particular, and to get to tell the story of the falls and their impact on humanity, or our part of humanity anyways.
And I'm sure there's probably people out there saying, oh, I could do that. But no, this was a big undertaking. Can you kind of walk me through it a little bit of this, I guess, storyboards and meetings, and how long this actually took, the process to get what we see here now?
The process to design the show and integrate it here took about 18 months, which is just about the scale of this pandemic. So for us, it was really a challenge to learn how to collaborate not only remotely with one another, humans, but also integrate this space remotely and get to tell his story without actually spending so much time in it. There are some people who collaborated and designed music, for example, who saw the space last week for the first time, who met the space. I like to talk about this as an encounter. It's such a magistral encounter that it is that kind of meeting. So the creative process and the technological process go hand in hand, and really from ideation, storyboards, like you said, and we start to create from the art direction perspective, the musical scoring perspective, the architectural lighting, and the system design, which is also a challenge, integrating today's top technology in what was yesterday's top technology, electricity engineering. And so using today, this is quite a heavy gear show, but it's all hidden, and the idea is that we create a sense of magic. So by having all of this technology invisible, we get to liberate the daytime space as well, and daytime offering, and keep that magical, and then at night it literally lights up. I've been on the project since day one, yes, but I haven't seen the space since day one. I've only been in the space a handful of months ago, so it was even greater to discover the content that we had created. This is a show that's not a black box show. This show comes alive here on these walls and are mapped not only to these windows, but to each of these bricks, to each of these artifacts. So it's an absolutely moving experience to see the show and to get to build it on space. It's something that we've been here for 4 months, integrating the show into the space. It's not at a flick of a switch.
And this attraction, I say, has lots of bandwidth because it can satisfy everyone who's just curious about what took place in the building, to folks who might be more interested in science, technology, engineering, and the mechanics behind this building. So we tell all those stories, and at the heart of what Niagara Parks is about, you know, as the environmental and cultural stewards of Niagara River Corridor, we are storytellers. So now we're telling the story of this power station, of hydroelectric power generation in Niagara, in Ontario.
Mm-hmm. Now, yeah, it's a great attraction and great historic. There's so much history here in Niagara, and it must be great for the new tourists. I mean, we're a little bit challenged now, but it's going to get better. We're going to get better through this pandemic. And then people will be coming from all over the world to see this.
They sure will. It's the last intact kind of its power plant anywhere, so we will be attracting people from around the world. We've had the story covered in a number of outlets nationally and globally as well. And that was part of that, the business plan for this attraction was to think about post-COVID recovery, having a new demand generator to support tourism recovery and tourism demand, again, for Niagara Parks, for Niagara, and for Ontario.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just for grown-ups. Kids are going to enjoy this too. What do you think families and young kids learning about this power station will take with them when they leave?
Well, I hope a sense of awe about the power of technology to create electricity. We hope that we're going to turn on another generation to a potential career in science, technology, or engineering. And we do have interactive exhibits. We worked with our sister agency, Science North. They have good depth of expertise in science centers, and they built 3 exhibits in the power station, lots of interactivity with that. And we'll be adding more and more in the coming months and years in terms of traveling exhibits, more interactivity, because we know that particularly kids, they want to touch and feel and see things go pop whiz. So we're going to have more of that.
And this probably will be huge with the Winter Festival lights and everything. It just keeps going and it keeps going together. It's a great attraction right here.
Yeah, so our intention with Winter Festival lights is we'll have a light activation outside in the Power Plaza, so the north side of the building, and then have that interactivity inside as well. But other special events coming to Niagara Falls. Fleur de Ville is coming in September. It's a horticulture display. We're going to have a horticulture display out in the Power Plaza as well. So this is a wonderful way to leverage this new attraction.
It was a great night here to see the history inside of this building and to see that great light show. You can learn a lot of stuff if you come down here and check out this exhibit. It's got to be a must-see on your list here in Niagara Falls. Reporting for The Source, I'm Bob, excited over the falls, Romeo.